would have thought that we had paid them. We wouldn't do that, would we? Right, welcome to the Chelsea Football FanCast. I am Stanford Chidge, and this is the daddy of all Chelsea podcasts, fueled by Guinness, powered by celery, and boy have we got a show tonight, and we are calling this the Chelsea Football FanCast, Raising the Bar. Yes, now joining me on the what I would probably call Chelsea FanCast Light at the moment, we have Darren Mental.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good.
You're wearing a very yellow shirt, Darren.
Yeah, I know. I thought after I shouldn't have worn Norwich colours, but I didn't think
you
at
look
the
like
time.
A blooming canary.
I didn't think at the time. I'm sorry.
I'll forgive you just this once. We have Pablo.
Good evening, Chidge. How are we?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, other than achy legs from football, I'm all right.
Achy legs from football?
Yeah, actually playing for the first time in months.
You should get yourself a massage, mate. That's the way to do it. Now, you may notice that we have an empty chair tonight. There is nothing sinister in that at all. We do, in fact... And we will, in fact, have a very special guest when he gets here. He's on his way at the moment, hot-footing it back from Norwich, where he was yesterday. I'll give you a clue. He was voted Chelsea FanCast's most popular guest last season. When he was last on the show in September 2012, he predicted, this is very serious, he predicted that Jose Mourinho would, in fact, return. And, in fact, he talked so much on the show that the show lasted 3 hours. He is the on-pitch announcer for Chelsea, and he winds up the opposition fans, and we love him, and he is Neil Spy Barnett, and he will be with us hopefully for part 2. But never mind, this is how we roll on this show. What we do have, we have some people on the benches tonight. Hello. Benches.
Hello, Chidge, how are you?
Chelsea Chadder, the main man. I'm all right, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Are you looking forward to it tonight?
Yeah, I've got new responsibilities
You have?
tonight. I'm the new Lauren for tonight.
You are.
So
You're not wearing a dress, though, mate. You've let the side down.
No, it's some sexy underwear, perhaps,
Okay.
but not the dress.
I hope we won't be seeing that later. So who have you got on the benches tonight? Chadder.
I've got my main man here,
The gaffer.
Bailey.
Gary Bailey. What's your Twitter name, Gary?
No, I'm not doing that.
No. never ever ask the gaffer what his Twitter handle is, Chad. So who else have we got? We got some new people tonight.
Yeah, very lucky today. All the way from Canada, we've got Tim and Kerry who have come over. I think that deserves a little round of applause.
Whoa, yes. I have to say, I like that. This is kind of like we used, like the old style Chelsea FanCast. We used to have, people who'd come from abroad, and enjoy the show. Can we go? I mean, I'd like to have a closer look at the gentleman who is on the left of the screen. I think we actually might have Willian in the house. Are you Willian, mate? Did you score a cracking goal last weekend?
He's way more handsome than I am.
He's way more handsome.
Yeah.
Are you as good at him as football, though?
Not even close.
Okay, all right. Well, it's great to have you two on the benches. It's brilliant, in fact. I love all that. Now, amazingly enough, we are going to be talking about the Norwich game, and we're also going to be talking about the Steaua Bucharest game from last Wednesday as well. We're also going to be having our man of the match and chart of the match and celery moment and Guinness moment, which we commonly call the fannies. There is logic in there somewhere. Now, what I need you lot out there to do who are watching or, of course, listening on Mixlr, mixlr.com/Chelsea-FanCast, is to either tweet Chadder at Chelsea FanCast or chat away in the Mixlr chat room and let him know what your nominations for the fannies are. Later on in the show, we will have a special edition of If You Don't Ask, You Don't Get, which you can ask Neil anything you like. Hopefully, the more embarrassing, the better. For example, I can say this because he's not here. Why does his head wobble so much when he's on TV? Why does he say 2-goal Branner Ivanovic? I don't know. Ask him whatever you like, or ask us a question about the games, whatever you want. Now, if you want to do that, you can either Skype us, and our Skype address is chelsea.fancast. Email us during the week if you want to get one in early, chelseafancast@gmail.com for that. And as I said, if you're listening to us rather than watching us, and you're in the Mixlr chat room, the address to go and do all of that is mixlr.com/Chelsea-Fancast. Now, you also may have noticed that there is another absentee this week because we are the bearers of some sad news.
Ross will be back next week.
Ross will be back next week. Nice one, Pablo. Yeah, no, Ross is ill. Yes, I should have said that. Poor old Ross the boss. clearly suffering from an overextended weekend of boozing thanks to his birthday on Friday. Now, Ross will hopefully be back next week. And Lauren will also be back next week, but I'm afraid to say that it is her last show. I kind of feel we ought to have some violin music playing here. But no, Lauren, brilliantly, has got a brand new job where she's going to be working at BT Sport. So well done to her. Sadly, because she's going to be stuck out in Stratford, it's going to make it impossible for her to be on the show. And I'm very sad about that, but we will send her off in proper Chelsea Fancast style next week, I promise. Now, just to wrap up what's going on in the show, of course we're going to have Chelsea Chatter stats later on, and of course we'll have a dose of the old Chelsea supporter-related news. But before we get into all of that, I think it's time we had our big match review. Now, I had the dubious pleasure, Darren, of being on Talk Sport on Friday night to big up the Chelsea.
Did you go down their studio?
No, they haven't. They're not that daft. They keep me at arm's length, on a telephone. But I was obviously I was saying that we were going to beat Norwich, but I did actually say that I thought that this team are no mugs and it wouldn't be easy. And I was kind of half right, but I thought the team was interesting. It'd be nice to have a look at the team. We had Cech in goal, we had Branner, Louise, Terry and Cole, we had Lampard, we had Ramirez, all good so far. We had Oscar, we had Mata and we had Schürrle, all good so far. And then we had young Mr. Barr, which I was quite surprised about because I was telling TalkSport that I was pretty sure Ete was going to start. But that aside, I think the main thing about this match really is the fact that Jose turned it round, with some very, very good subs and very, very good tactics. He went 3 at the back, and frankly, that won us the game as far as I'm concerned. For me, it's like the difference between a very poor manager and a great manager when you're prepared to gamble, and actually it just proves that how much he wanted to win. What do you reckon, Pablo?
Well, yeah, it's always been the case that it's probably better to go for the 3 points than settle for the 1 and risk getting none, because the margin between 3 and 1's bigger than 1 and 0. So ultimately, if you win more and draw less, you'll get more points.
I mean, we sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the substitutions, like, how Mourinho goes for it, and he's either going to go one way or the other, and this time it worked out. It worked out well.
It was classic Jose doing that. I was saying to Pablo earlier, actually, I mean, his first stint, he always did that. He'd take off the left back, go attacking, then if we score, then bring someone back into defence. Obviously, he put Schürrle there because he had used all 3 substitutions, but normally he then bring on a defender. I was wondering if after Inter Milan and Real Madrid he had other sort of tactics as well, but I guess it's his favourite.
He's done his 3 subs though, hasn't he?
Oh, that's what I mean. That's why I put Schürrle back at left back, but normally he'll bring on a defender for an attacking player later on.
One of the interesting things, which I don't know if many people pick this up, but when Hazard came on, and Schürrle kind of went back to being an auxiliary left back, if you like. Hazard was saying, no, you've got to stay down there, and actually, to his credit, Schürrle did, which I thought was really interesting.
He went to left back after we scored the 2 goals. Yeah. Before that, he was kind of a wing back, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what the best way to sum this up? I don't know this lovely lady, but Bianca, or at Sister Bloom on Twitter, I just thought she had a brilliant tweet about the subs that Jose made, and she said, that's how you make a sub. Last season, it would have been Ben Ayoun coming on off the bench to run around and flick his hair.
Like at Anfield.
But I don't think that sums up Mourinho, so to speak. That sums up the better squad depth we have this season than last season. Ben Ayoun and Marin on the bench. Yes, we had a manager who wasn't going to make substitutions, but they weren't exactly exciting options,
I
were they?
I did get the feeling that, I mean, I don't really want to talk about him anymore, but if this was last season and Norwich had scored, to equalise, that we, I mean, he was infamous for like bringing on a right back to replace a right back.
Oh yeah, no doubt we wouldn't
have gone for the draw.
Yeah, we wouldn't have gone for the win in the same way that we did, but the squad depth issue is a separate one.
I thought it was really quite funny of Mourinho to actually declare that actually it was all down to him and he is a tactical genius. I mean, the man just makes me laugh so much. It's brilliant.
When I saw that, I did think he must have been misquoted. I didn't actually think he would have said that about him. He makes great substitutions, but yeah, it's brilliant.
It's good stuff. Cheddar, what are people saying out in Mixler? Have they woken up yet? Have they said anything of interest?
Yeah, Diane CFC, she says that she thought Barr was actually quite good. And on the back of that, Steve Roberts said that he agrees that it was a passionate performance, but think that he lacked the skill that was needed. And finally, from Paul Crowder here, has said that Bar played very well, like Eto'o and Torres do, but again, is there a real problem with them not scoring goals?
I love them. They're champing at the bit already. I'm going to get into all of those after the break. What do the other people on the benches think, actually? I mean, what did you think about Jose's substitutions, guys?
I thought they were really good, yeah, and Ba, I thought he played awful. So
Not a fan of Bar then, William. I thought you did really well when you came on. You know, I thought you set up that goal night. We're going to talk about you actually in a minute after the break, but I thought you did all right. I mean, you know. I mean, look, the thing is that we got a 3-1 win, and I have to say, when Norwich equalised, we wobbled. But we'll talk about all of that very soon after the break. Thank you.